Hello and welcome to the familiarisation of Ford Transit Connect. The first thing we're going to do is familiarise ourselves with the van. We're just walking up towards the van. We're just going to walk round the van. We're looking for any visual damage at all as we're walking round, and there's no visual damage. Being a brand new van, hopefully there shouldn't be. So we've just done a complete walk round the vehicle. Everything seems to be intact. What we'll do, we're going to unlock the vehicle now. One press of the key fob will unlock the front doors. If we want to unlock the back doors, it'll be two presses of the key fob. So we're just going to open the door. Looking inside the van, the first thing before we get into the van, push the seat right back so there's enough space to actually get in the van. So get in the van and I'll press the clutch down, put the seat right back. It's quite comfortable for myself. After that, I'm going to adjust the steering column. There is a lever underneath the steering column that you can pull out, and the steering column will come up, go down and pull in and out. So whatever's comfortable for yourself, and then just make sure it's locked in, make sure you can reach all the controls and work the controls safely. So from here, we're just going to familiarise ourselves with the controls and that inside the vehicle. So I'll just put the key in the ignition. We're just starting the door panel on the driver's door. Of course, we've got the door handle, we've got a speaker here, and we've got two electronic buttons, which is your electric windows up and down, driver's side and passenger side. We'll move on to the light switch here. The lights on off. You've got side lights, you've got main beam, you've got fog light, and we've also got parking light on the control. The one next to it is your headlamp adjuster height. Okay, we'll move on to the steering wheel itself. Self-explanatory. Then again, we push, the horn works. We've got two stalks on the steering column itself. The right hand one is for the window wipers. Activating it down one, I'll put it onto one wipe. Pushing the end button in and holding it, it will squirt the screen wash on the windscreen. It will wipe for 3 wipes, it will delay for a couple of seconds, and then I'll wipe a 4th wipe. It's also 3 speed going up the way, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and there's also a timer for the intermittent. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds for that. We'll move on to the dash controls itself. You've got a speedometer on the right, we've got a fuel gauge, we have got a temperature gauge, and we've got a rev counter on the left. Now what we're going to do, we're going to turn the ignition on, checking the lights and that, dials are working, lights going on, lights coming off. We've got so many lights staying on now. The one at the top with the exclamation mark in it is the gearbox temperature. The one down below that is your engine management light. The one next to that with the wee oil can is your oil. You've also got a battery light, and you've got the park brake light. So what we'll do now, we'll just knock it into neutral, keep the foot in the clutch, and we'll start the vehicle up. The last light to go out was the oil light, and all we've got now on is your handbrake, your parking light. That's the only one should stay on. If we've got any other lights staying on the vehicle, you must defect it and get it rectified. So we'll just switch it back off now. Minimum. We've also got a display in the middle here. It's giving us an outside temperature, it's giving us a trip mileage, and it's giving your total mileage. So we move to the left stock. It has got a set and a reset button on it. It's got a menu button. It also does the directional indicators. If you push it down, release, it will flash 3 times and cancel. If you want it on to turn, you push it on and then it will cancel on the steering, returning back round once you've turned. The end button here, the reset, if I push and hold that in, it resets it to 0. From there, below the left hand stock, we've got the volume control and the mode switch and that, and seeking radio stations for the radio. In the centre console bit itself, we've got a storage space at the top, we've got 3 air vents, we've got hazard warning lights, and we've got your radio system itself there. Below that we've got the heating controls on the fan, we've got the directional for the heat flow to come out, and we've got the temperature of the heat. Below that we've got the car with the wee arrow recycling button, which should highlight orange if you want to recycle the heat. We're going to speak about the mist in the vehicle. Okay, if it's raining and that, you've been sat inside, the windows are steamed up, what you need to do, you need to open the vents here, and it swivels round as you can see. You just point it onto the window. Same on this side, pushing it in and swiveling it around, point it onto the window, directing the air across to the window. We'd put it up, right up to the windscreen here, and turning the other dial right up to the windscreen here, and then you'd put your fan on orange as well. So everything's on orange, orange and orange. That will fully demist the vehicle. Remember, demist your vehicle before you actually drive away, or you could be committing an offence because you're not seeing clearly out all your windows. Here we've got a 12 volt. They used to be called cigarette lighters, but now it's actually for phone charging and other things to do with 12 volt. In here we've also got a little lead extension. If you've got an iPod or that, it can fit in and work through your stereo through the auxiliary button. 5 speed, okay, so your gears there. If we're in reverse gear, it's got a wee reverse cutout button here. Between 11:30 PM and 7 AM you would push that button to cancel the audio sound for the reverse gear. Behind that we've got a handbrake, couple of cup holders and a little space holder there. The other side of the vehicle we have got the glove box, which has got the important book, the handbook, in case you need it. Above that we've got a sticker. On the sticker itself, no unauthorised passengers, the seat belts must be worn, do not overload the vehicle, maximum gross weight, gross towing weight, no smoking, and do not use mobile phones whilst you're driving the vehicle. If you're using a mobile phone, you must be pulled on the side of the road, the ignition must be switched off. We've got buttons here for the electric window as well. I'm going to refer to the passenger seat now. It also doubles up as a little tray as well as a seat. So you pull the little cord here, pulling it forward, then you discover you've got the fire extinguisher here, which is powder, and also a first aid kit. Then you pull the lever up at the back of the seat will tilt forward, pressing in the headrest and pushing the seat down. The back of the seat's still up a bit, so what we'll do, we'll put pressure on the back and it should clip in while we're actually pulling the handle up. So we'll put that in, pushing the handle down, and that is your table. So we'll just put the seat back up, we pull the clip, pop it up and place the seat back in. What we're going to show you now is the seat belts themselves and the adjuster at the top. It's got an slide adjuster there for your height. It's at the lowest setting there, which is quite comfortable for me, but you push the button in and you can pull it up and lock it out. As long as the belt comes across your shoulder, it's not cutting into your neck, that's how you adjust it. So you push in, lift it up. If you're tall, you put it up high. If you're a bit shorter, you can put it down low. And that's your seat belt adjusters. On both sides, exactly the same. Push in, up, down, and it locks in. So that's us, interior of the vehicle. What we're going to do now, we're actually going to the exterior of the vehicle and we're going to run over some of the pre-start checks you should actually be doing on a daily basis. As you can see, the parking of the vehicle, it's nice flat level ground. On the approach, bending down onto one knee, a little look underneath, seeing there's no obvious leaks or that from the vehicle, any oil or coolants or fluids or that. So we open up the bonnet badge And if we insert the key, turn it to the left, to the right, hold, and the bonnet will release. Putting the bonnet stay up. All the things we need to be checking are colour coded yellow. Screen wash, for instance. Your brake fluid, the dipstick. Your power steering has got yellow on it, and also your coolant. So these must be checked on a daily basis. We'll now go on and do the pre-start checks. And then the first thing we're looking at, the important one, is the oil dipstick. Okay, the engine is a wee bit warm, but to get a true reading it should actually be cold. Doesn't matter, as long as it's cold and on firm level ground. So what we'll do first, we pull the stick out, give it a little wipe. As you can see, I'll point out, we've got a minimum oil mark and we've got a maximum oil mark. The wee hatching just tells you where it is. So we'll re-dip it, put it back in its place, pulling it out, and as you can see it's just slightly above the maximum, so we've got plenty of oil there in the engine itself. The next level check is your coolant here. It's got a minimum and a maximum mark, and you've got your power steering there, we picture the steering wheel, it's above maximum. Moving on to your brakes, minimum and it's just above the maximum, and also your windscreen wash here. Any other visual checks, see if there's anything like that. Battery straps tied in quite well, and that's us under the bonnet. So we'll just secure the bonnet catch, lowering the bonnet to about 6 inches and dropping it and checking it's locked and secured. From there on in, we're just going to do a visual round the vehicle. Just walk up, checking the tax disc, checking it's actually the correct registration and it's in date. We check the wipers, you're just looking at the wiper blade for any fraying or splitting at either end. That's where they normally start. The ones are good. Okay, and a visual check round the vehicle. We're moving on to the tyres now. What we're looking for on the tyres is a visual check on the sidewall. We're looking for any banding hanging out, as well as the tread depth and the wear on the tread. Checking the fuel nuts with a visual and checking for inflation. Any cuts in the sidewall. If there was any cut above 25mm, it would be defected and you would have to take it to the workshop. So we're just going to continue on round the vehicle, checking the mirrors are intact, the bodywork, no dents, damage. Same again, back tyre, sidewall, wheel nuts, tread in the tyre. As you can see there's a stone there, I'll just pick it out. Tread of the tyre, tread wear, and making sure it's inflated. Just checking round the vehicle. Now we're just going to check the fuel filler cap. Putting the key in, turning it open. As you can see, it's self-explanatory, it's diesel. Remember, this is a diesel vehicle. Don't be putting petrol into it. Just turning the cap off. It hangs down on a wire there. Putting your correct pump in, fueling up, and then replacing the cap itself. Make sure it clicks, and that's as tight as it will go. Shutting, locking, and that's your refueling done. And same again, back corner, checking the tread on the tyre, checking the sidewall and nuts and the wear on the tyre. Okay, what I'm going to do now is actually open the rear of the vehicle, so I need to double click the key fob, pulling the door open, pulling the other door open. As you can see, it's been panelled out, it's quite good. Panelled out for all your tools and equipment. You've got a built-in bulkhead there, and as you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tying down points. Very good for toolboxes, equipment, stuff like that. You'd not want to be coming breaking in an emergency and actually getting the toolbox coming back through the bulkhead there. Okay, so it has got tie down points, hopefully you'll use them. The back of the doors, it's got a yellow button here. If you push the button in, it releases the door, so it will bend round another 45 degrees. Same again on this side, pushing the button and it will release. In the back of the door itself, at the back of the van itself, we've got a little cap there where we picture on it. Takes an Allen key, and what that does, it releases the spare wheel. So we'll just shut the doors up there. Coming round, checking the side door opens. Just checking in, side door's open, not a problem. The wee interior light comes on with the side door. So we'll just close that again. So the next step we're going to do is actually into the vehicle and switch the lights on and just check the rest of the vehicle over. So we're getting in, turn the lights on, putting the fog lights on, putting the hazards on, selecting reverse. As you can hear the audible sound, so what we'll do, it'll just cancel that out, fog lights on and all the rest of it. The only problem you've got, you cannot check the brake lights yourself. But alas, I found a way you can. I get a wee stone, I push the brake pedal down and I put it in between where the brake light switch goes. So we'll come back round the back of the vehicle and see if that works. So the first thing we'll check is your brake light. You've got your high level one working, brake light working there. You see two glows, there's a side light and brake light. Side light, brake light, we've got indicator, reversing light, and at the rear bottom there's a fog light. Both sides the same. Everything working, quick check, the number plate lights, A-OK. So same again, just walking up the side, the repeater lamp's working, we've got indicator on the front, we've got side light, we've got low beam light. Same again on this side. So we'll go back in. We'll change onto high beam, pulling it, releasing it, you can see the blue lights come on. And the brighter light has come on there. So what we're going to do is just cancel the lights out, pop it in neutral, so that turns all the lights off, fog's off, sides into off, hazard warning lights off. Just to prove the point, I'll just check, brake lights should still be on. Okay, we've got 3 brake lights, and what I'll do, I'll just cancel that out by pressing the pedal and catching the stone. As I say, just a simple stone is enough on some vehicles to check it out yourself. Take the ignition key out, shutting the door. To lock the vehicle, one press on the left hand side of the key fob. Driver's door locked, rear door locked, side door and front door. Hopefully that will give you an insight into the familiarisation of the Transit Connect.